Welcome to my channel. I hope you like and subscribe, and thank you so much for watching. In today's tutorial, I'm going to show you how to crochet these little booties. They're so easy to make. I hope you like them. Now, they're for 0 to 3 months, but you can easily make them smaller or bigger from a newborn size and up to 24 months. Down here in the information box below, I'll go ahead and leave you some information on how you can easily make them smaller or bigger, so be sure to check that out. You will also find the link to the matching baby hat, and I will also leave the link to my Etsy shop if you prefer a written pattern. Thank you so much for your support. To make these baby booties and the little hat, this is the yarn that I used. It's DK weight yarn. You can also use any number 3 yarn or 8 ply. Now, I used blue and white, and I used a total of 35 grams. You may need less or more depending on the size that you're making. Okay, let's get started, but don't forget to subscribe, activate the notifications bell to all notifications so that YouTube can recommend my videos. And if you like this tutorial, please hit that like button. Thanks so much for watching. To make these baby booties, I'll be using this 3mm crochet hook, and today I'm using this DK weight yarn. At the beginning of the video, I showed you the yarn that I'm using, and I told you how much yarn I used for the 0 to 3 month size. So here, to begin, the first thing that we need to do is a chain. We need to chain 11. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. Now, to begin with the first row into the second chain from the hook, this one here, the second chain, we're going to make a half double crochet. Now here I'm going to make a total of 9 half double crochets. I have 1 into the next chain, that's 2. Now make sure that you only go through one of the loops of the chains like this. 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. I have 9 half double crochets, and I have 1 chain left. Into this last chain here, make 7 half double crochets into that same chain. That's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. 7 half double crochets for the center part here. Now we're going to continue along the other side of the chain and make these 9 half double crochets. That's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, and 9. I have 9 half double crochets for this side. Now into the next chain, which is the chain that we left when we went into the second chain from the hook here. To begin, there was a chain here. So into this chain right there, you're going to make 7 half double crochets. So that's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Now to finish, go on top of the first half double crochet and join with a slip stitch. And here is the first row. At the end of this row, you should have 32 half double crochets. We have 9 for this side, 9 for this side, 7 here, and 7 here. So that's a total of 32 half double crochets. Now for the second row, chain 2. These 2 chains do not count. Now here I'm going to work a total of 9 double crochets. In this row, we're going to make double crochets. So that's 2, That's 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Now into the next 7 half double crochets, we're going to make 2 double crochets on each one. So beginning into this first half double crochet out of the 7 here for the center, make 2 double crochets. So that's 1, 2. Into the second, 2 double crochets. Into the third, 2 double crochets. Into the fourth, 2 double crochets. Into the fifth, 2 double crochets. Into the sixth, 2 double crochets. And into the seventh, 2 double crochets. Now here you should have 14 double crochets for the center part here. So that's 2, 4, 6, 8, 10, 12, 14. Now into the next 9 half double crochets, make 1 double crochet. So that's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. There. Now we have 7 half double crochets remaining. 2, 4, 6, 7. We're going to do the same thing we did here. We're going to make 2 double crochets on each one. So into the first, make 2 double crochets. There. To finish, go on top of the first double crochet and join with a slip stitch. Now at the end of this row you should have 46 double crochets. We have 9 for this side, then we have 14, 9 here, and then 14. So that's a total of 46 double crochets. So now what you need to do next is just cut your yarn and make a second piece exactly in the same way. You can make it in the same color or use a secondary color. I'm going to use blue, so I'll go ahead and do that, and then I'll come back and show you what we need to do next. I finished making the second piece. I did it in blue, and I did it exactly in the same way as I showed you here with this first one. Now you can make it all in one color. I'm going to use 2 colors because this is what's going to go on the outside here of the baby booty. So I want it to look like this. So what we're going to do next is we're going to place them back to back. So like this. This is the right side and this is the wrong side. So put them like this. And now we're going to find the center here of these 14 double crochets that we did. So all you do is just count these 14. We have 2, 4, 6, 7. So between the 7th and the 8th stitch here, place a stitch marker and then do the same thing for the second piece. We have 2, 4, 6, 7. Between the 7th and the 8th, place a stitch marker right there. And now we're going to go to the opposite side and do the same thing. We have these 14 double crochets. Find the center. 2, 4, 6, 7 right there. And then here we have 2, 4, 6, 7 right there. Now you should have 23 double crochets on this side and 23 on this side. From here on, this is going to be the back of the baby booty, so this part here, and this here is going to be the front. So to start here, with the secondary color facing you, go into the next stitch after the stitch marker, this first stitch here. Insert your hook through both of these stitches. Here we're going to join both pieces by making double crochets all around. So I'm going to use my primary color, which is the white. I'm going to bring this loop through here and chain 2. Now these 2 chains will never count as a stitch. Now into this same stitch here, go back in and make a double crochet. Now go through the next 2 stitches and make a double crochet. Make sure that before you do this, hide all of your ends. I already did for mine. So all I'm going to do here is just continue all around, making 1 double crochet through both of these stitches to join the pieces together all around. And once I finish this here, I'm going to have 46 double crochets. So continue. Let's finish this first row, and then I'll come back and show you what we need to do next. I'm here at the end of this first row. This is where I did double crochets all around, and I joined both pieces here. Now to finish, go on top of the first double crochet and join with a slip stitch. And here's the first row with 46 double crochets. Now for the second row, we're going to do 1 more row of double crochets. So chain 2, remember the 2 chains never count. The 2 chains are there so that there's no gap here between the first and the last double crochet, so that it looks like this. So here we're going to start into this first double crochet by making a double crochet, then into each one of the double crochets make 1 double crochet. So continue like this all around for the second row. I'm going to come back and show you what we need to do next. I'm here at the end of the second row. This is where I did double crochets all around. I have 46. To finish, go on top of the first double crochet and join with a slip stitch. And here's the second row. Now before we continue with the third row, we need to place some stitch markers. So what you're going to do here is you're going to count 13 double crochets for this side, not counting the 2 chains. We have 2, 4, 6, 8, 10, 12, 13. Place a stitch marker after the 13th stitch. Now for the front, you should have 20. 2, 4, 6, 8, 10, 12, 14, 16, 18, 20. Then place a stitch marker. And for this side here, you should have 13. 2, 4, 6, 8, 10, 12, 13. So now in this third row, we're going to decrease here for the front. So to do this, we're going to chain 2, and into this same stitch here, the first double crochet, make a double crochet, and then continue along and make 1 double crochet for each one of these 13 double crochets for this side. So that's 3, 13. I have 13 double crochets. Now we have the next 20 double crochets, so we're going to work a double crochet decrease here for this part. So here in these 2 double crochets, into the first, insert your hook, but first yarn over, grab a loop, take 2 loops off, leave 2 loops on the hook, yarn over, insert your hook into the next, grab a loop, take 2 loops off, 3 loops on the hook, close. Here's the first double crochet decrease. That's how we're going to work this part here. So into the next 2, make another double crochet decrease. That's 2, ten. So there we had 20 stitches. Now we have 10 here for the front. We have, let's see, 2, 4, 6, 8, 10. Now here we should be left with 13 double crochets. So finish these last 13 double crochets, and I will meet you at the end of this third row. I'm here at the end of this third row. To finish, go on top of the first double crochet and join with a slip stitch. And here's the third row with a total of 36 double crochets all around. Now I've moved my stitch markers here, so here we have 12 double crochets. 2, 4, 6, 8, 10, 12. For the front we have 12, for this side 12. So 12, 12, 12. So for the fourth row we're going to chain 2 and right into the same stitch, the first double crochet that we joined, make a double crochet and continue until we have 12. That's 2, 12. Now into the next 12 stitches here that we have for the front, we're going to work double crochet decreases as well. Yarn over into the next stitch here after the stitch marker, grab a loop, take 2 loops off, leave 2 loops, yarn over into the next, grab a loop, take 2 loops off, 3 loops, close. And this is how we're going to work this part. So into the next 2, make your double crochet decrease. There, we have 6 double crochets now here for the front. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Now we're going to continue and finish these last 12 double crochets. So into the next stitch after the stitch marker, make your first double crochet and continue like this until you finish this 4th row. I will meet you at the end. I'm here at the end of the 4th row. To finish this row, go on top of the first double crochet and join with a slip stitch. Now at the end of this 4th row, you should have a total of 30 double crochets. Now for the 5th row, we're going to make 12 double crochets, then we're going to decrease here for the front. For the front, I have 6 stitches and then 12 here. So to do this 5th row, we're going to chain 2 and into the first double crochet, make a double crochet and continue until you have 12 double crochets for this side. I will meet you right here after we finish the 12 to show you how we're going to decrease the front. I finished making these 12 double crochets for this side. Now I have the next 6 stitches for the front. Now into the next 2 stitches, these 2 here, I'm going to work a double crochet decrease. Right there. Now into the next 2 stitches, I'm just going to make 1 double crochet on each one. And into the last 2 stitches here for the center, work a double crochet decrease. There. So now we're going to be left with 4 stitches for the front. 1, 2, 3, 4. Now continue along and work 1 double crochet for these last 12 stitches along this side, and I will meet you at the end of the 5th row. I'm here at the end of this 5th row. At the end of this row, I have a total of 28 double crochets. To finish, go on top of the first double crochet and join with a slip stitch. And this is how I finish the 5th row. Now we're not going to decrease anymore, so I'm just going to remove these stitch markers. What we're going to do now is 1 more row in this color, and we're going to make front post and back post double crochets. And then we're going to switch to the blue and then continue with the cuff here. So to do this last row in this color for row 6, we're going to chain 1 and right into this first stitch, which is the first double crochet, work a front post double crochet, into the next back post double crochet, into the next front post double crochet, and so on. This is all we're going to do for this 6th row, front post and back post double crochets. Now at the end of this row, we're going to have 28 stitches as well. So continue along, finish this row, and then I'll come back and show you what we need to do next. I finished making the 6th row. This is where we did front post and back post double crochets. I have a total of 28 stitches for this last row here with this white color. Now we're going to change to the secondary color. So here at the end, I just joined to the beginning with a slip stitch, cut my yarn and pass my yarn through that last loop. Now insert your hook into this same stitch, which is the first double crochet. I'm going to grab a loop here with the blue yarn, and I'm going to chain 2. Now into this same stitch here, make a double crochet. In this row, I'm going to increase 4 more stitches so that at the end I have 32 stitches. This is so that it's easier to fold like this. So that's why I'm going to increase 4 extra stitches. If you want the cuff to be a bit more tighter, then you don't need to do the 4 increases. You can continue with just making double crochets all around and finish with 28 stitches. So this is how I'm going to do my increases. I'm going to make a total of 6 double crochets. So that's 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Now into the 7th stitch, make a double crochet increase. So make 2 double crochets there. Now continue along and repeat the same thing. Make 6 double crochets, and into the 7th make 2, 6, and then into the 7th 2, so that at the end of this 7th row you have 32 double crochets. I'll meet you at the end of this row. I'm here at the end of the 7th row. To finish, go on top of the first double crochet and join with a slip stitch. And here's the 7th row. In this row, I've increased 4 extra stitches, so I have 32 stitches at the end of this row. Now, for the 8th row, we're going to begin here the stitch pattern. Here, this is the crunch stitch, and here's the little hat that I'm making the booties for to match. Stay tuned for maybe a little jacket. Comment below and let me know if you want me to do that. To continue here with the 8th row, you're going to chain 1. Remember this chain 1 because this is the chain that you're going to join to at the end of each row. So to begin here into this first double crochet, which is the same stitch we joined, make a half double crochet. Now into the next double crochet, make a slip stitch, half double crochet into the next, slip stitch into the next, half double crochet into the next, slip stitch into the next. This is how you're going to continue all around for this 8th row. I will meet you here at the end to show you what we need to do next. I'm here at the end of the 8th row. In this row we started the stitch pattern here, the crunch stitch. Now to finish here at the end, I have one last stitch. I have a half double crochet here, so into this last stitch here, make a slip stitch. Now to finish the row, we're going to go here to the side where we have that first chain that we did at the beginning of the row, and we're going to join there with a slip stitch. Now this slip stitch that I just did is not part of the stitch, it's just the way that we finish each row. So if you count each one of these stitches at the end of this 8th row, you should have 32 stitches. Now for the 9th row, we're going to chain 1 and turn, and again this is the chain where we're going to join at the end of the row. So now for the 9th row, we're going to start with a half double crochet into the last slip stitch that I did that was part of the pattern. So make a half double crochet there, and into the half double crochet make a slip stitch, half double crochet into the slip stitch, and a slip stitch into the half double crochet. And that's how this stitch pattern is worked. Just make a slip stitch into the half double crochets of the previous row and a half double crochet into the slip stitch, and that's all we're going to do. So continue like this all around for the 9th row. I will meet you here at the end to show you what we need to do next. I'm here at the end of the 9th row. I have 2 stitches left, so into this next stitch here, make a half double crochet, and into the last stitch make a slip stitch. Now to finish, go here to the side where we have the chain that we did at the beginning of the row and join with a slip stitch. Now for rows 10 through 14, we're going to do this part for a total of 7 rows. We're going to chain 1 and turn. Now here's the last slip stitch that I did, so into this slip stitch here, work a half double crochet. Into the half double crochet, work a slip stitch, and into the slip stitch a half double crochet. And this is all we're going to do here all around. You're just going to repeat over and over this row until we have a total of 7 rows, just like I have here. So finish rows 10 to 14, and then I'll come back and show you the finished booties. I finished making the last row, so in total I did 7 rows here of the pattern. At the end, I just joined to the beginning with a slip stitch, cut my yarn, and passed my yarn through that last loop, and just hid my ends on the inside. So these baby booties are all done. You're going to do exactly the same thing for the second booty. It's done exactly in the same way. There is no right or left side. They're both done exactly in the same way. So here are the baby booties. They're so cute. Now here, what you can do is, I just weaved a ribbon here all around the row of front post and back post double crochets, and then just tied a little bow here in the front, or you can leave it without. The ribbon that I used, this is the ribbon here, it's 1/4 of an inch or 6.4 millimeters. So the booties are all done. These are for 0 to 3 month size. In the information box below, I'll go ahead and leave some information on how you can make them smaller or bigger, so be sure to check that out. And if you want to see the tutorial for the baby hat, I'll leave the link there as well. And as always, if you prefer written pattern, check out my Etsy shop. I'll leave the link to my Etsy shop in the information box below. Stay tuned for the other tutorials. I'm planning on making the little pants, so stay tuned for that. Okay, so this was today's tutorial. I hope you like it. Thank you so much for watching. Until next time.